Hey there, it's no secret that e-commerce is rapidly expanding. A study says that almost every single day, about 2,000 new brands are launched in e-commerce platforms like Amazon and Walmart. It's just crazy the amount of momentum that e-commerce has gained, especially with the advent of the pandemic, where everything moved online and so did the shopping trends. Um, it gave it so much momentum, and it seems that the whole growth of e-commerce is unstoppable. Just between 2020 and 2023, the number of online shoppers increased from 208 to 270 million users. That is crazy. That's a 23% increase that we saw. And again, it's all boosted by the pandemic. It's estimated to reach 300 million by 2028. That is within the next 4 years. There was also a survey conducted, and it said that about 20% of all the online users have claimed to make an online purchase at least once a week, and more than 31% of them have claimed to make a purchase once a month. These numbers are staggering, and there is no end in sight, especially with the increasing internet infrastructure and accessibility across the globe. There seems to be no end to the potential that e-commerce brings to sellers, platforms, and its customers who are the buyers. One of the most obvious trends that is emerging is that online shoppers are increasingly prioritizing quality over price. Gone are the days in the early times when the priority was given for best deals and the lowest price as opposed to the quality. With the advent of more users, with the advent of more brands coming onto the marketplace, it kind of seems obvious that the trends are shifting towards customers, especially high spending customers, preferring quality. A study by Klarna also has shown that more than 64% of the respondents in their survey made a purchase decision, specifically in categories of apparel and clothing, just based on the perceived higher quality materials that they see in these platforms. It becomes even more robust or more obvious for the brands that are selling online to understand this trend, that understand the fact that customers are willing to spend that extra time in doing the research, in understanding brands, going through different competitors, to make the decision not just based on price, but also based on quality. And it becomes critical for online sellers to make sure that the product listing or the product storefront is able to highlight all their unique selling properties, and is also able to highlight, especially in categories of food or clothing and apparel, where the emphasis on quality is much, much, much high. Another trend, unsurprisingly, is that fast shipping will bear great importance. It will be a determining factor for the success or failure of online platforms. A study by the Retail Industry Leaders Association has said that over 90% of the customers that they surveyed saw a 2 to 3 day delivery window as a norm, which means that any delivery that they expect to receive after 3 days, they considered it as an outlier and borderline unacceptable. And so this has increased the pressure on brands, logistic companies, and e-commerce platforms to ensure that they are able to fulfill this need. Another study has shown that more than 20% of the online shoppers have abandoned their carts because of the extended shipping times that they have seen. Slow delivery has shown to be one of the top 3 reasons why customers aren't going through with their purchase and why customers are dropping off in the middle of their online pipeline. This has also shown that increased efficiency by logistical companies, by shipping companies, is becoming more and more crucial in the coming times. Organizations like USPS have also realized that a lot of the profits that they're receiving is getting offset by the need for fast and quicker deliveries. The last mile delivery undoubtedly is one of the most costliest aspect of online shipping, and requires a considerable amount of costs that eats into the margins of the online shoppers. And so this is one of those trends. I don't think it's going back, because we have stepped into the world of 2 to 3 day delivery shipping times, all thanks to Amazon and its FBA Prime infrastructure in place. All the other organizations like Walmart, Target, and most of the online retail stores and platforms are trying their level best to ensure that shipping times are reached. One of the reasons why Temu and all these Alibaba and these Chinese marketplace platforms are struggling to get into the US consumer mind is primarily because of the large shipping times, where it does seem that despite having fractionally low prices compared to Amazon, they are not able to gain a sizable foothold so as to give competition to platforms like Amazon. A study by McKinsey has shown that more than 71% of customers expect their stores, both online and offline, to provide them a personalized shopping experience. This means that when they go on to these online platforms, they expect the whatever they see, the dashboard, the homepage, to be tailor made for them. This kind of plays into one of the reasons why advertisements, or advertisements specifically on Amazon, is seeing considerable push or considerable success for them, because of the fact that a lot of the advertisement slots, which is a primary real estate in Amazon product pages, it's because the perception that a lot of the advertisers target specific keywords, target specific customer types, in the hopes that what the customers see align closely with what the customer expects to buy as well. Amazon's algorithm, also called A9 algorithm, which determines the positioning of every product in the organic search page, is also getting built in a way that it is becoming extremely personalized to a customer, or at least a demographic of a customer. So right now, when advertisers try to target customers, they try targeting for keywords or customer profiles. Imagine a world where Amazon or any other platform is able to create a unique page, a unique search product listing for every single customer, based on their history, based on their profiles, based on all the data that platforms like Amazon has been able to connect. This is also obvious where a breakdown of personalization, or in this context, ad personalization, for example, where Google has been blocked by companies like Apple from deploying their cookies, or at least they claim to have, and hence they have lost the ability to hyper target specific ads, specific products to people. And because they have failed to do so, they have also struggled, or they have seen a decline in their growth rate of their advertising budget. And that's where companies like TikTok have come into the picture, where their algorithm is designed to put out content that they perceive the customer to spend the most time in, and hence they might be in a better position to really understand what kind of products can be peddled to their potential customers. But the future of shopping, especially online shopping, is definitely moving towards a personalization. It definitely moving towards a way where the increasing competition, increasing number of brands, and the possibility of success can only be determined by a platform or product or an offering that is able to hyper personalize their homepage, their offering, everything that they see to a specific customer. A report by Salesforce has suggested that more than 50% of the respondents of their surveys have used social media to discover new products and be influenced by it. And out of which, 60% of them have been reported to make the purchase directly from social media platforms like TikTok shops and Instagram shop that is available right now. And the advent of influencer marketing, though in the beginning it used to be a bit much and then it settled down, but it's still on the rise. It's no surprise it kind of plays to the previous trend that we discussed of personalized shopping experience. Trends such as the Stanley Cup craze that got into the limelight because of the fact that someone recorded their Stanley Cup being burnt on the outside in their cars, but the drink still being hot or being cold despite the heat around it, and the CEO of Stanley offering to publicly give her a new car. That kind of trends, that kind of human stories is one of the reasons why Stanley Cups became so popular. It's one of the reasons that they minted millions during this time. And it does seem that going forward, these brands who are heavily trying desperately to get into the online conversations to go quote unquote viral in one way or the other, creating stories, creating content constantly. There is also a lot of trends for companies, both big and small, paying influencers, micro influencers, large influencers, to organically, as much as possible, show using their products, especially clothes, food products, and specific products that are designed towards a perceived audience of certain influencers. So influencer marketing is not dying. If you look at YouTube, any YouTube channel or YouTube content creator, most of them are sponsored by some kind of product or service that they are able to see. So a lot of these brands, even service-based brands, have realized of the potential of influencer marketing and the tremendous amount of impact in purchasing decision it could have on people. And hence, in going ahead as well, the impact and the value of influencer marketing will definitely keep increasing, and those startups, those brands who are able to utilize that, will be moving towards a path of success. According to a survey by Wiseowl, more than 90% of respondents have said that they prefer to see more videos of retail brands and that they would be making purchasing decision based out of that. It's no surprising, humans are visual creatures. People do spend hours of their time in a day doom scrolling on TikTok, on social media in one way or the other. And as the population ages, that habit does not seem to die. Because of the huge amount of attention garnered by smartphones and apps, it is not surprising that survey shows that video content or video marketing is perhaps one of the most influential, most impactful way of communicating with potential customers and for brands growing. And that includes the fact that using social media influencers primarily to create more video content, and using this platform to move ahead has been on the rise. And as, like I said earlier, internet connectivity grows, the broadband connectivity grows, the access to fast moving video content will only serve to improve the fact that brands have to focus on video based content to have a hope to continue attracting new customers and have customers who are more brand loyal than others. And finally, an interesting trend that is on the rise is voice commerce. The rise of voice virtual assistants like Siri, Alexa, Samsung's Bixby, Google Assistant have all been on the increase. You may be surprised to know that according to a report by Insider Intelligence, there are more than 145 voice assistant users in the US, and it's expected to grow to 170 million by 2027. Of course, it's not growing as fast as video content users, but it is a sizable number. And I'm sure brands are trying to see how to best utilize voice commerce to help grow. So Amazon has been pushing their Alexa app to constantly use it as a way to enable purchases through their Echo devices. Even the new Humane AI pin, they've set up a system where their users are able to just use voice and make the purchase. And as there is a movement towards moving away from screens and visual elements and moving towards voice assistants, which is again increasing in every aspect of the life, including home, including smartphones, including cars, vehicles, everywhere. It does seem that those brands who might be well positioned to take advantage of the increasing voice assistant users for purchasing decisions, and with the advent of large language models, natural language models, it is becoming increasingly easier for connecting the customers who are the voice AI assistant users and making the purchase and bridging the gap with the uncertainty involved in between and perhaps the hesitation that might have been present a few years back. So it'll be a good idea for brands to position themselves in a way that to make it as accessible as possible in whatever platforms are available, like Amazon, perhaps Walmart. Facebook is doing a big push towards home assistance. Even Apple is doing so. Brands would be well positioned to spend more time in understanding these trends and how to best use voice commerce to help improve their trends going forward. So these are the few trends that we've observed in e-commerce moving ahead, and it does seem that all of these trends would be on the rise, and it's very important for brands, for everyone involved in the e-commerce community, e-commerce system, to understand these trends and get ahead of it and absorb the fact that increasing technology, increasing natural language processing, increasing user accessibility to the fast internet is enabling everything to happen. And with the increased technology, increased push towards hardware products along the way, like Humane and Rabbit AI and Facebook's Meta glasses, where voice assisted AI assistants are also growing quite a bit. It's pretty interesting to see 5-10 years down the line where e-commerce would be. Undoubtedly, there would be a massive increase in both number of users, the money involved, the number of brands, the number of platforms, hopefully. We live in a fascinating time. We live in a time where Amazon has begun and grown to be a behemoth. We have seen so many brands come into the picture. We have seen consumer trends changing. I think we live in a beautiful time, and these trends are just such a pleasure to study, understand, and look ahead into the future.